Go Cinderella, go Cinderella. Orgasm blush, lipstick, Gigasilla. Devil in a tight dress, girl, you a killer. And ain't nobody realer, and ain't nobody realer. Go.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of the I am no longer the Don't Quote Me podcast. Technically, it's episode 8, but we can say it's episode 1 of The Spicy Perspective. I am your host, Alicia B, and let's just get into it. I only have really maybe 30 minutes to record, so I'm going to make this team brief. As you can see, I'm feeling better. I'm all dressed up because I'm actually about to go meet my homegirl for lunch. So that should be fun. It's like we have a few places in mind. I really wanted to go to Apertico Cafe, something like that. I don't know, some like rooftop. Now, Houston has like a couple of like rooftop spots. I just haven't been to any of them. Like I've been telling myself since I moved here in like 2024, I'm gonna go to Z on 23rd. Still ain't been, but I've heard decent things. So I got that going on. I have finally niched down also to realizing like, okay, I think beauty and fashion is what I'm gonna start doing rather than just doing like business promo as far as like videography goes. So that's great. I do have like a couple of, I guess, like shoots lined up this weekend. This past weekend, I went to an album club. I came across this creator called Dave the Artist. So they usually do like an old album and a new album. Came across my For You page on TikTok because he was doing Beyonce's Renaissance album. I'm gonna make this brief also. So when Beyonce's Renaissance album first came out, I can't really say that I was, how I am today with Renaissance. Like I really enjoy the album now, but I only more enjoy it now because of the movie that came out. I'm a person, I like to see like how things are done. I'm very much into like the behind the scenes of how these things are happening. It's kind of like seeing Beyonce, work behind the scenes rather than the finished product. Oh, also, y'all, I got my nails done today. Every time I get my nails done, I'm like, bitch, I had to go out. And that's really how lunch ended up happening today. I wasn't a huge fan of Renaissance when it first came out. That's not to say that I didn't think Renaissance didn't have good songs. Like, I liked the songs, but it wasn't like how I was with Cowboy Carter to where it was just like, I'm listening like front to back up until the movie came out. And then I like super regretted not going to the concert. And it was crazy because like, I remember I was thinking about even going to the concert because she had like a few shows left and I was like just getting off of my very last deployment in the Navy. But it is what it is. That's like the one regret I have. I can only hope that she does maybe some type of tour like later on in her career honoring that. But I was still able to see kind of somewhat of Renaissance only because she performed a good handful of the songs during her Cowboy Carter concert. So I know last week's episode was a little, sad, depressing, or whatever. We obviously out of that because as you can see, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better. Now that I'm out of it, I can tell y'all the funny story that wasn't funny when it was happening, but bitch is funny now. We can laugh about it. Cool. And this is so bad to say, and y'all gonna understand why. I had like the best fucking 4th of July weekend I've had in quite some time. And it was with a man. Shocker, right? He was Ghanaian. Basically, this guy, he hit me up back in like April. I want to be very clear about this. Plenty of niggas hit me up about like, oh yeah, I'm coming to Houston, especially when you live in like a big city. Y'all know niggas be like, oh yeah, I'm coming to your city. Da, da, da. Either A, they never come, B, they don't hit you up. See, they ain't got no fucking plans. And it's like they just want you to find all the plans. Granted, yeah, I live here. Pick up the fucking phone. I feel like if you was able to see that Houston is a fun city from your phone, you should find something for us to do. If you're asking me out. That's just my hot take on that. He hit me up back in April, and coincidentally, he actually lives in Norfolk, which some people may know, but I used to live there prior to living in Houston. He's like, hey, I'm going to be out here July, whatever, for some Caribbean festival thing, whatever. I love any type of like Caribbean event, obviously, because I am Caribbean myself, but I didn't really remember that conversation until he hit me up like that Friday of 4th of July. Now, to be clear, he hit me up. We would talk like here and there, but I was just a person to where it's just like, first of all, I'm not really trying to talk to nobody that's like in a completely different state because I just don't like wasting my time. I have to see if you're actually coming out here and then maybe I can take it seriously. He would send me like videos and stuff, like funny videos in the meantime, between time. He was like Ghanaian, but he was like just my type. Purple. He's just my type and all. Only issue is he just don't live here. And I was just like, I don't know about that one. So he hits me up that Friday. He was like, hey, like, I'm in Houston, yada, yada. And honestly speaking, I completely forgot about him because again, I wasn't really replying to him because he wasn't talking about nothing. He told me, I want you to come out with me to this like bottle fete party or whatever, blah, 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 pay for your ticket. So I was like, pay. I was like, okay, that sounds fun. So we actually ended up linking that Friday that he hit me up and we was all at Afrobeats bar or whatever. Real good time. Beforehand, I met him at his like hotel. So we just chopping it up. Real cool, very conversational, very funny. I like when I can come across, especially like an African man that is actually funny, not too serious. Me personally, I'm just somebody who is really goofy. So I remember when we was talking in his hotel room, he's like, how come you said you wasn't looking for no relationship? And I was like, well, to be honest, when you hit me up in April, I had just got a relationship, which I did. So it's not even like I was looking for anything like serious. I can say that I'm open to it now, but it's still just kind of like, I kind of got to see about you. We went out that night. I, of course, didn't have to pay for nothing. And then, I was being fast and yeah, I spent the night. So yeah, I already know how that went. So then the following day, Saturday, we ended up going to this Caribbean event that they had. It was supposed to be from 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. I'm gonna be honest, Auntie old. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., but we gonna see. Cause it was crazy because me and him was both like, maybe we'll just stay until about 3 a.m. We stayed the whole motherfucking time and had a fucking ball. So we get back to his hotel room. Bitch, I'm gonna be honest, that man was nasty. He did a lot of things to me that I liked, but it was like I was supposed to leave like mad early. I never ended up leaving. And you ever meet somebody and the vibes is just right and just enjoying your time so much? I mean, technically I was with him on Sunday, but that was like morning time. I was supposed to go back over there. We was gonna like hang out. Bitch, I was tired. 4th of July weekend really told me like, bitch, you're 31. You need to sit the fuck down because when I say my body was in pain, aching, I have not felt body pain like this in a very long time. And I ain't gonna even say it's because he folded me up. It was strictly just because I'm like out at all times of the night. I'm dancing, I'm in heels. Like it was just too fucking much on my body. Obviously, yeah, I'll never do that shit again. Or at least I'm a stretch. Monday came, not a photo shoot, but I did have like a videography thing to do for this lady I had met. She does like maternity photos for like babies. And the baby was so cute. Like I actually got like baby fever from that little baby. So I had to go do that. But after that, me and him, we just kind of was like at the post watching the soccer game, just kind of like counting down that time till I gotta like drop him to the airport. We had already made plans like, okay, we're gonna meet up in Dallas. Cause I just feel like if you're gonna deal with anybody that's like not in your state, I feel like meeting them in like each other's state is like so boring. First of all, I already used to live in Norfolk. So me and him both agreed like, ain't nothing out there, bitch. Like we could go somewhere else. I am completely fine by it. You know what I mean? So let's all keep this in mind. Great weekend, great sex, great vibes. I ain't had to spend no bread. Drop him off, whatever. He lets me know when he gets there, blah, blah, blah. Now, again, 4th of July weekend, I did entirely way too fucking much. Bitch, I was tired. Like, tired, sleepy, all of that shit. So it's like, and I had like other, editing things I needed to do as well. So it's kind of like we would, talk during the day, but like I wouldn't really hear from him at night. But I didn't even realize I wasn't hearing from him at night because I was knocked out by like 7, 8 p.m. So it was just kind of like, whatever. So then, but again, he was consistent with it. Like he was like, call me on his lunch breaks, all this stuff. Like make sure he texts me in the morning, blah, 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 whatever. So then Thursday rolls around. Thursday, I'm now like kind of refreshed at this point. And he texted me Thursday morning, right? I don't hear from him for like the rest of the day, which I thought was like odd. Now I told y'all, yes, I retired from being a detective, but bitch, I could pull it out. Unfortunately, I had to pull it out. You not going to just bust me open like that and think that I'm not going to be worried about your whereabouts. I needs that. I did a little digging. I was able to find him on Facebook. Once I found him on Facebook, it was private except one photo. Y'all want to guess what it was? Surprise, surprise. It's him and a girl. However, it was from like 2 years ago. Now, he told me that he was in a relationship about 2 years ago because he actually just came from the States about a year ago from living in Japan. So it's not like he like omitted that truth or anything like that. So I was just like, hmm. I, however, had questions because he told me that the girl was like Japanese and black. Y'all know Blasians kind of have like a certain look to them. Like it's no denying that they got some type of Asian like in them. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at the girl like from the photo and I'm like, this is a black girl right here. There's no mix. So that's where things stopped adding up for me, right? So I do a little bit more digging. I forgot how I came across the girl's page, but I was able to find her page. It didn't look like it was like active and it was also private. So yeah, I was just like, uh-huh. I do some more digging. This all took me like 20 minutes, by the way. This is a new record, even for myself. I was shocked. I was taken aback. I ended up coming across the girl's mom's post. He posted that somebody tagged him and bitches gonna fucking pop up. That's just a little tidbit for y'all, you know, if you want to be a detective like myself. So I see the mom's post or whatever, and she like tags the girl, but she also tags the guy that I just spent this great 4th of July weekend with. And she mentions him to be her son-in-law. Huh? Mind you, this post is from like 20 weeks ago. Now, here's the other issue with this. I know you're like, okay, 20 weeks ago, what's that matter, right? You're right. What does it matter? However, comma, he told me he had been single for, like I said, maybe like a year or so. And then also, he told me he had never been married. Why is she calling you son-in-law? I'm very confused about that one. I hit up the mom. I did. Yeah, I did. And I know y'all gonna be like, why would you do that? Because you know what? Should you decide to come into my space and play in my face and I find out you have a girlfriend, a woman, any of that, bitch, I'm telling on you. I don't care whether she stay or not. But like for you to be so like bold and come all the way over here knowing you're married is just fucking crazy to me. I hit the mom up. Yeah, your son-in-law is cheating on your daughter. I did hit up the wife, but again, it looked like she had one of those Facebooks that looked like they just weren't really active. And I wasn't gonna let him get away with that. Nah, nah. And the mom, of course, is just like, do you have proof? Yes, I do. Send her all of that proof, you know what I mean? Screenshots, all of that. And I was just like, please, you know, let her know I'm like so sorry. I had no idea they had a wife, let alone a woman at all. Because bitch, when I say again, y'all know how I was just saying, like, yeah, we was just in his hotel room chilling. I mean that. Like, no phone calls. Like, I remember it was a point where his alarm was just like going off and I had reached over to like grab it to just like turn it off. That nigga ain't grab my arm. He ain't stopped me. He wasn't asleep with the fucking phone underneath. He wasn't asleep with the fucking phone underneath the pillow. You know, these are usual signs that somebody might be playing dirty. Like it really gave just single as fuck. Yeah. Mind you, they live together. It's not even like they're in two separate households or nothing like that. 'Cause I didn't do it in a sense to be like, haha, like I fuck your nigga. Like I didn't get down like that. But, you know, in a sense of, I feel like if a nigga is gonna be cheating and raw dogging, you know, behind your back, I feel like you have a right to fucking know. That's not to say that I told her because that's not to say that I told her because I wanted her to like break up with the nigga. Like at the end of the day, like that's his wife. She gonna do what she want to do. But just know you have this information, okay? Because I don't really think it's right that somebody should just like creep around and their significant other just doesn't know the type of shit that they be on. Even if she does know, again, that's their business. But I told you, I let you know. So there's no surprises later on if you do the same bullshit again. You know what I mean? That happened, you know, and now I feel terrible because I'm just like, damn, I really was like having a ball with somebody's husband. I had a dick, actually. I was having a dick with somebody's husband. Like it was like one of the best weekends I had. And I hate to say that because like it's just somebody's husband I was spending time with, spending bread on me, like all of that shit. Wife ends up calling me but she's like bawling on the phone. So now I feel, you know, even worse. And she's just, you know, asking me questions. Like I'm not gonna say she was cool about it. Obviously she's like hurt. But she was telling me like she had a feeling, but she just like, no, she wants to like trust her husband and all that stuff. And it's like, it's sad that we now live in a day and age to where it's like we feel like we need to ignore the gut feeling of our significant other. At least for me, I know my nigga couldn't go to a city like Houston and I'm just not fucking hearing from him. That's not to say again that they wasn't on the phone or nothing when I wasn't there, but I know it couldn't have been long. From even just like talking to her, how much he had her conditioned to just not asking questions. Could never be me. Y'all remember how I said, I think it was like my fourth episode to where I said like I never got married because I asked too many questions? There you go. I'm telling you, like, and I promise you, like, I probably will never be married because a nigga could never. I would slap the shit out of him. And then it was crazy because I remember at one point during the weekend when we was talking about, you know, meeting up again and stuff, we were saying like, oh, maybe we could do DC or something like that. And he was like, yeah, like he go to DC often, yada, yada, yada. So now I'm even more baffled because I'm like, how the fuck are you going to DC that often? Like, is he, so I like straight up asked her like, hey, he had mentioned that he be going to, you know, DC and stuff, da da da. Like, you know, are you going with him? And she says no. So that means not only is obviously, let's just be honest here. This obviously is not his first time cheating. You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep it a beat. This was just, it was just too smooth of an operation. He wasn't worried about shit. And it's crazy that he wasn't worried about shit because again, I used to live in Norfolk. What if I know somebody that knows somebody that knows her? You know what I mean? Like, you just never fucking know. Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, he goes to DC often. Like, I had a feeling that he had somebody out there, but you know, again, she's like trying to trust her husband by not asking too many questions. And I'm just like, I feel sorry for her because, you know, they got married young and it's very easy to manipulate somebody's mind like that, especially when it's like their first like real relationship. So she's just like, you know, open up to me and I'm listening to her because like for me, again, I'm very genuine. I didn't tell her to be like, haha, like this is what your husband is doing behind your back. I told her because I feel like as his wife, she has a right to know like what the nigga is up to. Even if she had a idea of it, I don't feel like she's ever really had like solid evidence. I'll give you that. I don't give a damn. Like, fuck that nigga. Like, because clearly he don't give a shit about both of us. He lied to me too. The nigga said he never been married. Turns out the nigga been married twice. Not just once, but twice, y'all. The nigga has been married twice. And then it was also crazy because I'm just like, maybe this is a sign from God, like prior to me finding out, because I remember I was just telling myself like, hey, I think I want to go to Deci December. And he's got in. He's like, oh, I'm always out there like pretty much every Christmas. So we was like, you know, talking about that. You know, meeting him out there, yada, yada, yada. So it was just like crazy. So it's like all these good things happening. And she's like, what's the DJ say? Bitch, you married? You've been married twice? Oh, but then here's the crazy part. So I had already like blocked him and all of that. I'm like, I don't want no parts because clearly this nigga, like she's just telling me like, oh yeah, he's not trying to take accountability for it. Like, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's African. I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as I love them, there are certain things I dislike, and accountability is just one of those things. He goes out his way to make like a whole new like phone number or whatever, and he gonna text me. It's not no sorry or nothing, y'all. No. That's too easy. That's too easy. This nigga gonna text me and say, "Oh, so you like ruining people's relationships, huh?" Me? What? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but I'm gonna put it on here. He was like, you like ruining people's relationships, huh? It's okay. Like, I'm gonna tell the whole of Houston about you. Bitch, what? First of all, what the fuck you finna tell them? What's gonna be the report, huh? That is good pussy on the loose now. Tell them what? That I told on you because you're cheating on your wife? Because that's exactly what you're doing? Like, that's really gonna stop another African dude from fucking with me. Even if he did have a wife. You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep it a bean here. Okay. That ain't stopping nothing. They might be a little bit more cautious on letting me know they socials for sure. But, I don't really think that's going to stop nothing, babes. I basically told him, don't contact me, and I gave him a nice cursing out. How the fuck am I ruining a relationship that only you knew you had? Do you know how fucking dangerous it is to... Unfortunately, my phone died in the middle of me talking about that. So I done went to lunch, came back, did all of that. Don't make it seem... You know what got me upset about that? It was just the simple fact that like, he's texting me as if like, this was like our master plan and I folded because I got mad or something. Nigga, I did not know you was married. Don't be texting me, make it seem like I knew about your situation because I asked you if he was married and you told me, no, actually, I didn't ask him if he was married. Duh. I asked him if he ever been married. That's what it was. I asked him if he ever been married. He told me, no, he's only ever proposed. But the crazy part is he told me he told me he proposed to some like Blasian girl. That's why it sent red flags when I like seen the girl that he posted, talking to the wife. She was like, yeah, he's been married twice to me and then before him some Japanese girl. So basically it's like, can we say he lied? I guess I mean, technically he said he proposed to a black and Asian girl, but maybe in my mind he was talking about one person. Does that count as a lie? Because he did propose to a black and Asian girl. Like, was that nigga trying to tell me the truth? It was just crazy. Oh my god, I got the worst allergies in the history of allergies. I got allergies when I was like in 7th grade. Like one day, I ended up going to like BJ's and my eye literally like I came out looking like Hitch. As you can see, like my eyes are red. Granted, I just smoked, but that ain't why they're red. It's because they're like irritated, and I'm trying so hard not to scratch them because I'm supposed to go back out. I don't know what it is, but like when I get back in like my moods, I just want to dance. Honestly speaking, the only time I see people dance while I'm in Houston is when I go to Caribbean or like African uh event or like club or something like that. Too, also I realized when moved out of Jersey, Jersey is like one dancing ass state. I remember when I was in high school, it was like it felt like damn near every fucking week or every other Friday, either DJ J Hood, what's the other one? DJ Frosty. I almost call him DJ Snowman. That is not it. Or DJ Little Man was dropping some type of video. But like that's just where I come from. So I think I'm kind of like used to people like dancing at parties. That's just because that's what at least my part where I'm from, North Jersey, like that's just the culture. Like rocking your hair, sexy walk, all of that shit. This is the thing, right? Being that I am from Jersey, people be like, "Oh, I would hate if my nigga was like on TikTok, like dancing, whatever." But I have to be honest with you, like I'm a dancing ass nigga. Like if I was with a nigga who was a dancing ass nigga, me personally, it just wouldn't bother me because everybody in Jersey dance. Like that was just they shit. Hood niggas or not. I kind of have to like hide a little bit when y'all say that because it's like I can see the embarrassment of it. To this day, I still remember like all of the dances because I used to like learn them and then teach my friends. Yeah, I would skip class. I go to their gym class because y'all know gym. I don't know about now, but at least when I was in high school, it was nothing but foursquare and volleyball, and I was bad at both. So the obvious thing to do was to skip biology to then go to their gym class. Like, duh, that's where I get the workout. Yeah, I just be having a time. The best thing I could do is literally go dancing. I just fucking love it. I pick and choose when I feel like that's with somebody. Sometimes I just straight up don't. Yeah, I just kind of like really came to like let loose. And I know people be looking at me like, did this bitch come alone? I did. I did come alone. I'm having a ball. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to come in talk to y'all about. I'm excited for the projects I do have coming up. I'm trying to like really get into visual storytelling. Thank you for watching what is now my 8th episode of The Spicy Perspective. I am your host, Alicia B, and I will see y'all next time. I feel like I have something to talk about.
Ain't nobody realer, and ain't nobody realer. Go, go, go.